This is the true story of my great-great-grandparents. Grosse Isle. Inside the hovel, if you can call it that, more like a hole in the ground, the nightmare of crying returns. The crying of a 9-year-old McCabe boy whose parents, Michael and Mary, my parents, are leaving with my younger brother and sister, William and Mary, leaving me behind with relatives to go to Canada in 1820. Were they too poor to pay for my passage? I've had this nightmare of crying for 27 years. Now outside the hovel, there's more crying. No, wailing. Wailing for the dead. No need to look. It happens every day. If they knock, what should I do? I can't even feed my own family. If I take them in, the soldiers come and tear the roof off our hovel too, leaving us homeless on the road. We cannot read or write, but I can see the pictures of the Irish drawn as monkeys in the English newspapers. We live in a land where half the people are dead or leaving. No longer the 3 months of continuous hunger between the last of one potato crop and the harvest of the next that has occurred every year, but of never-ending hunger. I can choose between the workhouse or passage to Canada on one of the broken-down coffin ships where the death rate is 12 times normal. Those who pick the workhouse die faster than those who starve, for their weakened bodies are forced to work 12 hours a day and live in a dingy room with hundreds of others, starving, filthy, diseased people. I take the landlord's coffin ship offer, parting Ireland with my wife and youngest child, 2-year-old Alice, leaving the other 5 behind with relatives, in case, like so many others, we don't make it. For I do not want everyone dying at the same time on the voyage. We will send for the others when we can. We board the Superior of the J&J Cook Line, overloaded with 360 starving, sick passengers and overinsured, for the ship is worth more if we sink than if we make it. Crammed into every corner of this lumber cargo ship, none of the promised food, water, or clothing, only what we have scrounged. Typhus, typhoid, cholera take their daily toll. The sharks follow the Superior, waiting for the daily burials. 61 of the Superior's 360 passengers don't make it. But we are all sick now as we arrive at Grosse Isle quarantine station in the Gulf of the St. Lawrence. They are quarantining us. It's no surprise. But there is food and water here, and priests and sisters and doctors who nurse us, who voluntarily came, who gave the dead a proper funeral every day that they can avoid putting them into a mass grave because too many died that day, who live and die and are buried with us. Unbelievable news. Not only does the doctor say we are clear of disease and free to go, but the priest who is written to ask every church to inquire in all the parishes about my parents say that they have found my parents, who I have not seen in 27 years. They are living on a farm in Lanark County in Upper Canada. We can go there. But the government has no money for travel. So we are given £2 from those who have died in Grosse Isle to make it there. The doctor told us that of the 8,691 quarantined on Grosse Isle this year, 5,424 did not make it. I wish I did not have to take the money. 19 years later, I moved in next to my parents on my own farm, and on the other side are Michael and Mary Murphy, who understand us perfectly because they, like us, came in 1847. They can raise and feed their 14 children like us, even on a poor farm that is not got that land that is that good. And today, our dear daughter Alice is marrying their boy Richard. Although Mom has passed away, Dad will be at the wedding.